You understand, at least Kristen said they got rid of the teleprompter right before he was starting to speak. And then, as Jake emphasized, very uncharacteristic. You don't want to read too much into it, but clearly he got the message that this is when he was saying, Caitlin, come together, praising his rivals, that was what he wanted people to hear in this moment.
Yeah, it shows how confident he feels coming off of this win. I mean, I haven't heard Donald Trump give a speech like that probably in 8 years. And I've been to a lot of Donald Trump speeches. I mean, he hasn't called Ron DeSantis Ron since Ron DeSantis entered the presidential race. He has only called him by nicknames and called him disloyal. And to see him give that speech, I think, speaks to how he feels after this victory tonight. But I also think this is a speech that he's giving after he has not had any wins in several years. I mean, he lost the 2020 election. He's facing 91 criminal counts. He's going to be in a New York courtroom tomorrow for a trial where a jury will determine how much he owes the columnist E. Jean Carroll for defaming her, something that they've already decided. They're not deciding that. They're deciding how much he owes her. And I think that is what is fueling that attitude that you saw there, where he was speaking graciously of his opponents, clearly calling on them to drop out of the race and talking about this notion of uniting the country, which struck me, given obviously how polarized the country is at this moment, and this idea of uniting liberals and conservatives in that speech. But I think it's also because he has not had a win like that in so long. I mean, he's only dealing with criminal charges and civil suits and trials.
But he's trying to keep a sense of inevitability about this. I mean, this is the kind of speech you would expect to hear from a candidate after Super Tuesday, if they've won, 5 or 6 states and they're rolling to the nomination. This is the very first contest, the first one. And he was sending all kinds of signals to Capitol Hill, to his rivals. He just 2 days ago was attacking Vivek Ramaswamy. Tonight, he was praising him. He was using Ron DeSantis' actual name. I mean, he's sending a signal to his party. This thing is over. And he wants them to get on board. We'll see what happens. But that was the signal that was unmistakable to me as he heads into this next week going into New Hampshire.
And I was struck by the number of senators and